I heard you. Oh, thank you.
Maybe if we put it on these. Did you like this? Yeah. You need to stand up for this. Just make sure they're in the box. Yeah. Got it.
2? Okay.
Hi, Vivian.
I'm going to sit up there. Good to see you.
It's totally recording, guys. All right. Hi, Tom Jankowski.
Hello.
County Commissioner. Hey.
Did that go?
It's gone. Yeah. If I'm gonna be, yeah, if I'm gonna be standing here, I guess.
What do I have to do? Just stand here and pretend like I know what I'm doing?
If anybody gets too close, that's it.
Videoing. So I just walk right in front and just wave. I hope it's not on good. I'll have to. I don't know why they put it in official.
Yep, last week. Took us about 2 months to put out the walls. Then we put the doors in as well. Yeah. Great space. We're not done. This is the first phase. Second phase is more acoustic stuff, ambiance.
Oh, we're supposed to get it right.
I'm ready to do my thing. Well, hey, don't be too close. Yes, she gave me a sample. And I have heard. Yes. And I'm actually sure you probably need to. Yeah, well, no, I mean, you turned out a great job.
My space actually just got totally done because we never use anything.
Yeah.
Because you're always trying to get creative and only come up with something and just do.
I mean, we can talk over here later.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now I give you a
for you to take your seats as soon as possible so we can get started. I'm kind of looking at you all in the back there. There's plenty of seats here. Come make yourself comfortable. We'll get started in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I got something from you. Like Michelle. I'm like, yes, I was like, you would know that. Like, right. Yeah.
How do you explain this up?
So what happened?
What do you think? If we need to, you can shorten the black holes. Oh, gotcha. There it goes. Awesome. And then we can zoom in just a little bit more. Something like that. So that's so it's kind of like this, and then I'll set the top camera on the edge. Oh, it should be good to go.
No, at the front. You're out.
Bones are like these needle.
So that would be all the
Chill here.
clap to get started? Or be prepared to stand? Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. And I'd like to introduce your MC for the evening, Mr. Michael Lowe.
Hello, Carbondale. Who would have thought that we'd have sharp up the mountains here in good old Carbondale? Here we are. So just a curiosity, we're certainly celebrating Carbondale and entrepreneurial activity in Carbondale, but we're also celebrating the Roaring Fork Valley. So I'm curious, can I get a shout out from anyone from Aspen? Yes, Basalt? Glenwood Springs? And of course, Carbondale. Nice. Way to represent. Oh yeah, woo! Oh. Is that town where they have marble? Anyways, thank you so much for showing up today, and we're just so pleased to be here to share a lot of hard work that's been going on for the last 6 months. And some of you might be wondering, well, what kind of hard work could be happening that could lead to this? Well, 18 months ago, my partner and I, Altai, and also Nicole Christensen, embarked on a journey of trying to figure out how could we build community through entrepreneurial activity. And after a lot of road trips and sleepovers and Telluride and Steamboat Springs and the Front Range, 6 months ago, let's say October, September, we decided to pull the trigger, sign a lease, and start our own co-working entrepreneurial adventure. And I'm proud to say 6 months later, we've accomplished all of our goals. We've been able to, thank you. And it's been through a lot of hard work. And we've been blessed to have a community of volunteers and a staff that has stepped up to the plate in a big and meaningful way. We've had a group of technologists that showed up on our doorstep on day one that had, yes, thank you, shout out to technologists, who are already very involved with the Aspen entrepreneurial community, but were willing to commit their time, energy, and resources to help us build our community. And over the course of the last 6 months, we've had business professionals, we've had experts in a variety of fields that have become a part of this vast network of specialists that are helping us grow and build this wonderful entrepreneurial community. So we're certainly excited to show off some of the work we've been doing. We recently finished an incubator program, which brought in about 30 plus new ideas, and they were all competing for a $10,000 prize. And we're pleased that we have our winner here with us today, as well as the runner-up of that $10,000 prize. And we feel excited that we can have a solution not just for the front end, not just for those with ideas, but also those who have existing businesses, are looking to scale, are looking to grow. And tonight is about that. It's about celebrating a variety of entrepreneurs who have existing businesses at all different stages. Some are just a few months in, others have been around for 4 years, but all have very strong ideas, and we're willing to take a risk on GlenX and myself and our great team of coaches to see if we could strip down their business to the fundamentals and really look carefully at operational efficiencies and see how we can make their business stronger. And then to take all of this big vision and pack it into a 7-minute presentation, which you're going to hear tonight. So again, thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting entrepreneurial activity in the Roaring Fork Valley. I want to give an acknowledgement to a couple of our guests here today. We have several groups of guests that we're grateful to have. First and foremost, I want to thank our venture capital and private equity groups for being here today. They will actually serve as our panel, and we'll be asking questions of our entrepreneurs. And we're grateful to have representatives from the Telluride Venture Fund, Telluride Venture Accelerator, as well as the Greater Colorado Venture Fund, Startup Colorado, and then last but not least, 4 Points funding out of Steamboat Springs. So a great representation. Let's give them a round of applause. We also want to thank our sponsors. We've had a number of sponsors that have stepped up to the plate in a big way during the last month. But we really want to acknowledge our inaugural sponsors, those people who believed in us at the very beginning. And I want to give a special shout out to the Carbondale Chamber, the Carbondale Rotary, the City of Carbondale, Alpine Bank, and I want to also give a special shout out to our title sponsor, Startup Colorado. which has been a big part of why we're here today. So if you could also give a warm applause to all those. Yeah. And finally, I want to kind of give a shout out to the Roaring Fork Leadership Program, which has been a complementary program providing soft skill development around leadership and team building in our valley for the last couple of decades. I was fortunate to go through the program several years ago. We have many people in our cohort who've been a part of that program. And this event, the guts of this event has been put on by volunteers from that program. So I want to especially thank Brian and Clayton. I want to make sure I don't miss any names here, but I want to specifically thank Brian, Skylar, Lynn, Jonathan, Charlotte, Ben, and Emily. And I would actually like you to stand for a moment for all of you, give them a warm applause, because every chair, every contact is a result of their own efforts. So please stand. Yeah. All right, so our mission, build an entrepreneurial ecosystem. How are we going to do that? Education, excellent programming, support, resources, funding, and strategic planning. We've been able to accomplish a lot of that over the last 6 months, and we're looking forward to taking that momentum into the future. Today is about celebrating 8 wonderful entrepreneurs. And we are excited to have a call of action tonight to say that after you've heard these pitches, after you've heard these stories, we want to start the funding now. We're looking for 5 commitments of $25,000 to get us started and to get these entrepreneurs on their road. Now you'll notice that their asks are much larger, but we're confident that with a starting place, we can build on that. We've already got a number of local entrepreneurs as well as people around the state that have expressed interest in supporting what we're here to do. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to bring a couple folks up to the stage that are going to talk about the Greater Colorado Fund and how this is maybe the best time to be in this space. We've got a number of folks that are taking an active role in helping to build support for rural economic development in western Colorado. But without further ado, I'd like to tell a brief story about one of my favorite entrepreneurs in the valley. He's going to kick us off with a brief story about her road to success. Dr. Sarah Franco is not only a dear friend, but she's an inspiration to myself and to many of the folks that have been a part of our cohort. And she left an amazing career to make soap. And I'll let her tell you a little bit about that journey, but I like to call her an accidental entrepreneur, and I think her story is filled with a lot of powerful lessons. So, if you please welcome Sarah Franco to the stage. Just right there in the middle.
Wow, this is really bright. Hi. So Mike came and asked me to come and speak at this, and I he asked me like a couple weeks ago and said, can you just stop by this little gathering and tell people, what you do? And then, I get a text this week like, thanks for being our guest speaker. And I'm like, how many people? He goes, well, just a couple hundred. Anyway, so when he asked me to come and talk, I thought, I'm not your girl. Like, I'm not an entrepreneur. And then I looked around the 4,500 square feet where my team of 15 people and I made, sold, and shipped over 20,000 bars of soap last year, and I was like, actually, maybe I am. So I didn't start as an entrepreneur. So my career began in the emergency room, and I worked actually with Mike's stunning wife, Jamie, who's a urologist down in Glenwood. So I trained in Washington, D.C., and I ended up as an ER doc because I kind of couldn't pick a specialty, and I wanted to do a little of everything. But I went into medicine because I wanted to touch people, and I wanted to heal people, and I wanted to make contact. And the ER is a hard place to do that. It's an easy place to put out fires and to suture people up and to ship people to specialists. But the nurses would really get mad at me when I would be spending time with an ankle sprain talking about smoking cessation. And I'm like, well, I'm a doctor, I have to talk about this. This is the problem with this person's health. It's not this ankle sprain that we can fix. So I started to feel a little dissatisfied. You all know that the Western medicine system is a little bit broken, and I'm hoping that there's a new generation of physicians coming out that are more integrative and incorporate things like, hey, what do you eat every day? Like, that's not something we're taught in medical school, right? It's like, what do you eat? And do you exercise? And how do you manage your stress? And all of these things felt like such broken pieces of the system to me. So I was feeling a little unsatisfied with the career. And then my beautiful 60-something-year-old mom got sick and died of pancreatic cancer really quickly. And that really sort of triggered in me this sense that your health is not something you're entitled to. It's something that you're privileged to have. And I got really frustrated then with trying to work against people on their health in the ER. I thought, you're not entitled to antibiotics because you smoke and you get bronchitis twice a year because you continue to choose to smoke. You know, I'm not here to give you pain medication because you refuse to try anything else. And then I thought, if I spend the next 30 years doing this, I'm going to be just a real bitch. So, so that's kind of what my mindset was. And so after my mom died, and I had a 3-month-old baby, so I was all hormoney and stuff, and then I was sort of looking for a creative outlet, and I took a class at Avalanche Ranch. You guys know Avalanche Ranch in the Salt. I took a class making soap, and I went there with a friend of mine who was a veterinarian, and 2 things happened. One was I realized that because I had so much science already in my system, I could pick this stuff up more quickly than the average Jane. And the other thing that happened was there was some sort of flip that switched. And it was like a falling in love. It was like when I met my husband, who's in the back of the room. It was a lightning bolt moment when I thought, oh God, I want to do this now. So then the process of justifying, like, okay, I'm going to leave a career in emergency medicine. I'm a board-certified emergency medicine physician, and I'm going to be a soap maker. Excruciating. So I went home and I obsessed about it quietly, and I found the friend that took the class with me, so gave me a room in her house where I could, like, I called it the meth lab, and I stayed in there for a couple of years with big goggles on, and just made stuff and exploded stuff. And then one day I went home to my husband and I was like, no, I actually want to do this. And he was like, ha! Oh, we're serious. Yes, I'm serious, and so he has been my incredible support from day one, and not all husbands will say, yeah, sure, you know, put the emergency medicine career aside and go 6 years without a paycheck. That sounds great. So I did it, and I decided that I couldn't do it if I kept one foot in medicine and one foot in soap, and the soap smelled better. So we launched We'll Be 6 next week, April 20th. So that was the main piece of the story that you wanted me to tell. I think there were some other questions you wanted me to answer.
I think tell us where you're at and where you're going. Where you're going, maybe.
Okay. So, as I said, I didn't start this as an entrepreneur, so I was all passion. When I learned how to make soap, I was fired up. And I don't know if you've seen our soaps, but they're like not your average bars of soap. They're really, really pretty, beautiful bars of soap. And so I kind of fell in love with that. Then I developed an entire skincare line. So when we launched with, I think, 40 SKUs, which was incredibly stupid. And not, you know, our margins were not big enough, you know, to be able to, you know, sort of pitch to wholesale accounts very quickly. That was another mistake I made. And all of these things, you know, it's been a pretty painful learning process for me because I don't have any business experience. It turns out that MD is just like not useful. So I've learned a lot along the way. But I think that, you know, as I didn't start out with this mission of like, I want to build an X million dollar company, right? I just was like, I have to do this. Then as I did it, I realized that it was actually my medicine, because the more that I studied and learned about the chemicals that we use on our skin every day, the effects that those chemicals are having, both on our personal health, on evolutionary health of our species and other species, and on the planet's health, I realized, oh, this is why I did this. This is why I had like the cojones to leave the careers, because this is actually my brand of medicine. And so really what I'm doing is, yes, I'm selling products, but most of my time now that I have an awesome team in place is spent traveling and talking to people and trying to educate people. People think so much about, you'll hear from Lacey tonight, who's doing amazing food things, and deep in the world of organic farming, people focus so much on what goes in their body, but still are like incredibly, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but clueless about the stuff they're putting on their skin and how much of it gets absorbed and the health impact it has. So when people ask me what's the goal of the company, I say it's to shift the course of human evolution. So it's like a really small goal. But yeah. So anyway, so as the mother of 2 young girls, I see these young girls, developing way too early, and a lot of other reproductive problems, and all of those are coming from the endocrine disruptors that we're using on our skin and that are in the hormone-treated foods that we're eating. So really, there's a big goal happening. As far as where I'm going, I still don't really know.
It's all right. I want people to hear about your heart, because that's the theme of tonight.
Yeah, I think that especially if you're a passion-driven entrepreneur like I am, you have to know that you're not good at certain things. And so finding incredible team members to come in and pick up the slack, the stuff that you hate doing, like anything with a spreadsheet, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing. And so I have spreadsheet experts now who do all of those things for me. Yeah, but that's really it, and it's all passion out of the gates. And now I'm 6 years in, and now I have to figure out really the big plan. And like I said to Mike earlier, what I really want is a bigger rooftop and a bigger megaphone to shout the message even louder than I've been able to do it so far.
Thank you, Sarah. So what is the theme for tonight? It's heart. And the entrepreneurial journey starts with heart. And sometimes you don't have to have all the business skills in the world to get the start that you need. A few housekeeping things. Can I switch the... Okay. Just a few housekeeping things before we get started. We good? So we'd like as much as possible to give full respect to our entrepreneurs while they're giving their pitch. If you need to leave to use your phone or go to the bathroom, if you could just be kind enough to wait till they're done, and we're in the Q&A portion, to slip out the back. And do, please, if you just take a minute to either, maybe not silence your phones, well, actually silence your phones, if not turn them off, we would be grateful. Bathrooms, hopefully everyone knows where they're at. They're just out the hallway and to your left. And during the Q&A, I know a lot of folks will have questions for our presenters, but we're going to restrict the questions to our panel. But certainly you are welcome to meet and mingle with our presenters after we're done here and ask them your own questions. Thank you again for being here. And I'd first like to welcome Lacey to the stage. And let me just say a few things about Lacey before she comes out. She is our restaurateur. She came to our accelerator program with not a lot of business experience, but with hustle. And I think Lacey embodies a quality that I found critical to any kind of entrepreneurial success, and that is blood, sweat, and tears. Even if you don't know how to do it, you just get in there and you get it done. So on that note, I'd like you to all give a warm welcome to Lacey.
Thanks, Mike. So, I grew up in the Deep South amid a divisive culture, and the concept of community was somewhat foreign to me. But early on, I recognized that food is a powerful tool in connecting people. It wasn't until I moved to Colorado and found my home in Carbondale that the true meaning of community become clear. I'm Lacey Hughes, and I'm a partner of Tim Can, a food lifestyle brand in Carbondale, Colorado. This is a size tin can. It's designed to store food after harvest for easy distribution to the food industry. This simple platform starts with food production, but becomes something much more universal. You'll find these in any kitchen anywhere in the world. If I handed one to any of you, you would find a different and unique use for it, just as we chefs do in our kitchen. Carbondale is a blend of longtime locals and transplants like myself from around the world, creating sophisticated expectations around food. With a median income of $64,000, locals spend on average 10% of their income dining out. Tin Can's starting point is a restaurant, bar, and 2-room inn in downtown Carbondale, serving dinner nightly with late-night bar menu options. But from there, our greater mission is to create a food network by incorporating food producers and food distributors and concierge services to enhance job stability, support local food production, and most importantly, enhance the life of our customers. I'm already a restaurant owner in the community, having opened a cafe called Silo in 2014. In operating this business, I have a pulse on the trends and consistent needs of our locals and our visitors. For some time now, there has been a growing anticipation for refined culinary experience in our town. Tin Can will fill that need by providing tasteful dining and lodging options that make this place a destination location for our patrons. Restaurant sales are booming in Colorado. Since 2010, restaurant revenue has increased by $10 billion annually. Restaurant sales are expected to reach $16 billion by the end of this year. More specifically, in Carbondale, restaurant revenue has grown over 38% since 2010 and is still on the rise. Our business model is focused on clean, responsibly sourced food, late night bar menu, on and off-site lodging events, boutique lodging, and a unique connection to local agriculture. We have procured a parcel of land in town we intend to develop into a farm, build an event space, and provide additional lodging. Our aim with this business model is to create a stronger, more sustainable, and ultimately more successful culinary brand. Our first year will focus on nightly dinner service as well as late night bar menu. In year 2, we'll roll out lunch and breakfast. By 3, our event capacity will have grown, will have quadrupled. By the end of year 3, we expect to reach nearly $2 million in sales. Tin Can consists of 3 partners, each bringing an integral component to our team. Cade is a Carbondale native. He's opened a handful of successful restaurants in Denver. The Wayback, The Wayward, American Grind, just to name a few, Method Coffee Roasters, Western Daughter Butchers. He's an expert in the scalable business model. Flip, our executive chef, has worked in notable kitchens around the country, as well as opening 2 restaurants here in our valley in the past few years. His love of traditional cooking styles and dedication to local foods makes him a prime candidate for this role. I will be Tin Can's general manager. While I've spent considerable time in kitchens in my career, I've also spent a lot of time in the front of the house, studying the service and hospitality aspect of this industry. This project is a culmination of my goals and ambitions from 2 decades in this industry. Crazy to say. We already have established partnerships with tons of local food producers and other local businesses in our valley, the North Fork Valley, and beyond. So our project is underway. We have already been seeking financing and have secured $350,000. I'm here today seeking an additional $300,000 to complete phase 1 of our project. But it's worth noting there is a much bigger investment opportunity here. We intend to develop 100 acres along the Roaring Fork River, just a few blocks from the restaurant, by inviting our farmers to do what they do there, to build an event space, and create additional lodging. So, thank you. I'm going to stop there. I welcome anyone to seek me out afterwards if we can talk in more detail about this project.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. So we're going to take some time for our panelists to ask questions of our presenter. And I will try to reframe some of the questions so the audience can hear. Yes, Mark.
Have you been able to find any lending sources for local banks or?
The question is, has Lacey been able to find local lending sources, banks, or lending agencies?
Being in the restaurant industry, I circumvented banks from the get-go intentionally. Part of what I love about this community is people's conscious, careful consideration about the foods they eat. And we found an overwhelming amount of support here in our town through our residents.
Another question? Yes.
You mentioned the lot's been secured, and there's something about 100 acres on Roaring Fork close to this facility. Where really is that? I mean, that's kind of
The question is, where is the restaurant and the acreage located?
The restaurant is located at 689 Main Street. It was the location of the former iconic restaurant. One of my partners bought the building. We own it. And his family owns this parcel of land about a quarter of a mile down 8th Street. It's been dormant for a few years, and we intend to make use of it.
Another question?
Have you or any of your partners ever taken like agricultural projects alongside your Is it the first time?
Question about agricultural projects undertaken.
We are not farmers. I would not categorize myself as a farmer, but we have worked closely with farmers in our valley for years doing what we do, and we have an amazing resource in agriculture here. There are young people doing amazing things with food, and one of the hardest parts for them is a secure place in which to do what they do, land. And so by creating this umbrella where we can all support each other and unify our businesses, that's our ultimate goal.
Any more questions? Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Lacey. So our next presenter is a bedrock of the Carbondale community, and I think we're all hopeful she'll help to put Carbondale on the map as a business that not only serves the community in the Roaring Fork Valley, but is in the process of serving a much wider region. She'll tell you a little bit more about how she's scaling, but I think we're all very excited and very proud to have Connie as a neighbor, a friend, and certainly a local business person who's doing tremendous things with her team. So please give Connie a warm welcome.
The emerging craft spirits market is robust and growing daily. So I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you why Marble Distilling is an excellent investment opportunity. In June of 2015, we opened our Carbondale luxury and tasting room and first of its kind sustainable distillery in downtown Carbondale. I'm Connie Baker. I'm co-founder, head distiller, and CEO of Marble Distilling Company. I'm super excited to announce that in December 2017, we opened our second location in Aspen, Colorado, the Marble Bar Aspen. Very excited to have a place in Aspen. So, the U.S. spirits market. Revenues over 26.2%, or 26.2 billion last year. This is the 8th consecutive year of gains in the market. Not in the market. And this represents an incredible market for growth for craft spirits within the larger spirits market. The biggest drivers are high-end and super premium growth categories, and Marble strategically placed all of its spirits in both of those markets. We are a high-end, super premium brand. Why is that important? The big guys today are, oh my gosh, here we go. Hold on, there we go. And you saw this one. Oh, look at that one again, it's a big one. And that's big too. We love revenue growth. Okay, another big driver is whiskey. We anticipated this. The whiskey market is growing rapidly, and quite frankly, there's not enough whiskey in the world today. I want to just put that up. It's growing at more than 16%. And we anticipated this and have been laying down brown spirits since June of 2015 when our still first started producing. In December, we released our Hoover's Revenge Dragon Mountain Rye, which is named in honor of our rescue dog, Hoover, who lost an eye to a mountain lion. Now, we like to say old Hoover forgot the first rule of thumb when cornering a cougar. Does anyone know what it is? Come on. Offer her a drink. So, all of our browns will be released under the Hoover's Revenge brand. So, why is this important in the craft market? Because today's multinational giants are disconnected from their consumers. They do not have the backstories like Hoover's Revenge. They are struggling to create them. They cannot compete with craft on a quality, I swear I didn't touch that, because they are mass-produced spirits. So we understood from the beginning that people are drinking less, but they're drinking better. And this is super important to the craft market. So, the US craft market, more than 18% growth annually, more than $3 billion in sales. Marble Distilling Company, we believe in living our passion, our why. My why is vodka, of course. I love vodka. $3 billion in sales and 25% growth by value. So what are the big guys doing about that? They're struggling to create backstories, but what are they doing additionally? They are buying us up. That's the greatest compliment we could have. Let's face it. So these noteworthy acquisitions are only here to show you that all of these guys have a couple of things in common. They have proof of concept. Swear I didn't touch that. They have proof of concept. They have outstanding spirits. I think I'm just electrified. And they have a loyal brand following. Very important. So our craft spirits are coming to you shortly. All of our spirits, you know, as I said, I love vodka more than anything. But I love all our spirits equally. They're all my babies. And they all are award-winning. More than 20 awards, international award and national awards in less than 2 years. And most notably, last year, Wine Enthusiast named our Midnight Espresso one of the top 100 spirits to drink in 2017. There are more than 10,000 spirits that they analyzed, and we were named as one of 100. That's amazing. Go Carbondale! So what's different about us? We've proven our concept. We have award-winning outstanding liquid. That's amongst our craft distillers. You know, from the big guys, we have an authentic story. They had one, they do have one, but it's old. And we have a young one that's capturing this millennial audience, which is super important to us. Our revenue model is, I'll get back to distributed sales because it offers us unlimited growth potential. But our other 4 revenue streams are tasting rooms, our barrel clubs, our luxury boutique inn. What they offer us is a connection to our audience, a connection to our consumer at a grassroots level. And that has helped us build a strong, loyal following, as well as, let's face it, cash flow. So, as we grow, how are we going to get there? We are going to open 2 new domestic markets each year, and we're going to launch in Europe by the end of 2018. Right now, we're only in 3 U.S. markets, so we have unlimited growth potential. Currently, we can produce more than 56,000 cases annually. This year, we'll produce 6,000. We built for scale. We know our market, we know we're going to grow. So, revenue versus expenses. Revenue. Everybody here cares about revenue. I care about revenue more than anyone else in this room. 6,000 cases this year, 18,000 cases in 2021, more than $3.75 million in revenue by then. But our expenses are decreasing as our revenue increases, mostly because of our buying power. For example, buying containers of glass over pallets of glass. Swearing. Touch that, you guys. Anyway, how are we going to sell 18,000 cases? We're going to make 18,000 cases. We're going to sell them because we have targeted our marketing very carefully. We understand that the consumer now cares and purchases with their wallet. They are buying products that are aligned with their ethos. And so our Drink Sustainably logo, which is on every single bottle, and our hashtag Liquid Change has garnered more than 6,000 loyal followers in just over 1 year. And Marvel is building a new conversation around conservation. And that is why the Sierra Club named us one of 6 spirits to drink if you want to save the planet. Wow. Super exciting! So, have to have faith in your leadership team. I previously founded and built Agenda West, a pharmaceutical marketing and communications company with offices in Carbondale and New York. We had more than 28 employees, and we grew our sales to more than $13 million annually. Michelle Marlowe was a partner in that firm. Her specialty is PR and marketing with more than 20 years planning large-scale events around multinational marketing campaigns. And Carrie Shanks, our Director of Sales, was most recently with large developers such as Related, Westpac, and American Tower, managing contract negotiations, property acquisitions, and entitlements. So, Marvel Distilling, we are most importantly seeking a strategic partner to join our team And we are looking for $300,000 to grow our national sales team and join us to save the planet one bottle at a time.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
So a few questions for our guys. Yes, yeah. The new markets, how will you get people to try your product?
We have learned very early, it's liquid to lips, the most important thing. So we need boots on the street, feet on the ground, tastings, and that is how we've grown our market in Colorado. If we get people to taste our product is 100% amazing, awesome quality, and if they taste it, they're on board.
Yes. Why the separate brand for the whiskeys?
So, great question. A couple different reasons. One, we really want to highlight the story behind Hoover because it's important to our consumers. It's a true story. This is not made up. I had a friend, actually our friend Mitch Myers, who helped us with all of our original branding, which we won a gold medal in San Francisco, which is the highest honor in the United States for branding at the World Spirits Competition. And Mitch helped us with all of our branding. And she launched, created Spuds MacKenzie and launched it, and told us, and went on to form an incredible agency, and said that people would pay her millions of dollars a year to create these backstories around brands. So our brand is super important to us, but the Hoover's brand, and it's under the Marble Distilling brand, is its own incredible story that people can launch, grab onto and understand, maybe greater than the Marble brand.
Yes, Mark.
You guys source all of your raw ingredients locally. How does that impact your margins?
All ingredients sourced locally, how does it impact your margins?
So originally, all of our grains were coming out of Alamosa at costs of, broad range for some of our grains, 50 to 60 cents a pound, plus shipping. So we've recently partnered with a local rancher who is growing our wheat, our rye, our triticale at a lower cost and no shipping and no carbon footprint, or very, very low carbon footprint. So.
All right. Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. So I'm pleased to announce that our next presenter is a software app, and I think we're excited that we can showcase a variety of businesses, but certainly the fact that we've got a few entrepreneurs that have had some success building software in the Valley makes us very excited. And I think the fact that we've been able to access this group of technologists and tap their expertise, I think there's a number of people in the Valley that want to go down this road. And I think to have Chris as our model of how we do that, and to provide a proof of concept that really makes sense has been a powerful example for our team. So without further ado, please welcome Chris to the stage.
Thank you, Mike. A few years ago, I was doing business development for a great little company, 3 or 4 nights a week on the road. And 2,000 miles away from home and my family. Most days would end with me coming out of a meeting with fleeting daylight in a strange place. I'd spent a lot of my valuable time that I could be living my lifestyle trying to find it. Literally, I would do a search for this, write it down on a legal pad, search for that, write it down on a legal pad. By the time I was done, I'd have a map on my legal pad of the places that I wanted to go to eat, to work out, to stay. And I was either doing that or I'd punt all together and I would just wear myself down in mind, body, and spirit. I loved the work. I just hated the lifestyle. And I thought, with all this technology out there, there's got to be an app for this. Right? It's the classic line 3 years ago. But there wasn't. A year or so later, I was traveling with my daughter on vacation, and we ran into the same challenge. And I opened my big mouth and I said, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for an app that brings all the good stuff together in one place. And from the dark back seat, I hear, Dad, you have to do it. You can't tell your kids, about your idea if you're not going to do it right. So I put my money and my time where my mouth is, and I built GoBeMap. Today, we're live and free on iTunes, and we're bringing the good stuff together anywhere in the world. The app the solution that we're presenting is a complete mobile lifestyle experience that brings together high-quality food and drink, including silo and marble distillery. Fitness and yoga, parks and trails, gear shops, and kids' fun, all together on one map. Come on, baby. The app opens with a map that's centered on your location with all the good food and drink around you. You can then click categories on and off to find just what you're looking for. And if you tap the list button, you get an active matrix of the categories that you have on with just little details like ratings and distance away from you. If you tap on any of those entries or onto the map pins, you'll get business details, including clicking through to navigation, phone, website, and hours. You can easily share a location with friends and colleagues just by tapping on the share button. And if you want to search anywhere else in the country, you just type it in on the bar at the top, and you get the same easy-to-use experience. GoBeMap is curated in Colorado. It's optimized for the US, but it works anywhere in the world. In fact, I've got a professional photographer who's traveling for work right now in Mexico and Alaska, and he's texting me raving about the places that he's finding and how it's keeping him sane. And just this last weekend, I spoke to one person from France and another person from Peru who confirmed our results. So it's very gratifying. If you're relating to any of this, you and I are two of 100 million people in this country trying to live well. In fact, at 22 nights a year on the road away for each of us, there's 6 million people in this moment running into the same challenge. We are equally men and women. We're educated. We're upmarket. We're tech-friendly. We're very social. And we know what we want. We just have a hard time finding it. Early market validation has been through a startup weekend, which we won, an online survey, a prototype party, countless conversations with other users or potential users, healthy active people, and the businesses that serve them. And it's working. We've had consistent growth since we launched at Christmas. We've had no system crashes. Very proud of that. And we've had overwhelmingly positive feedback. We do have some competition, but to be honest with you, they're either trying to be all things to all people and they don't serve us very well specifically, or they're just another single point search. The revenue streams that we feel are most viable right now are affiliate programs, brand sponsorships, point-of-sale discounts, pay-per-click partnerships, and content marketing contracts. And we estimate between just offering users discounts and offering businesses sponsorship options, the average user is going to have an average revenue per month of about $3.85. Our marketing budget for this year I feel really confident that we can have 30,000 users by the end of the year. And first year, we should be cash positive in 9 months. And I honestly believe that in the end of 4 years, we could be an $18 million company. I think that the market is hungry enough and tired enough to get that kind of growth. Our team is built of CTO Matt Waffer. He helped build Makina, which is a discount discovery location-based app. Jenny Liu is our marketing consultant, and she helped launch Microsoft Windows products. Piranha Technologies is a firm in Montreal that we use for development, and they just won the top app developer award in Canada in 2018. I've got 2 great advisors for finance and for tech business development, and a great freelance entry team, data entry team, and myself. We're asking for $500,000 to take GoBeMap to the next level. What we're going to do with that is engage more people. Right now, the main goal is to get people using this app and get it in their hands and see how they use it, see where they use it. We want to do that by expanding and deepening our traction channels. Secondly, we're going to develop stickiness and granularity along with revenue streams to make the app a more captivating experience, using Piranha until we have enough revenue to justify an in-house development team. We also want to expand our curation by using web crawling technology and also employing local tastemakers in key markets. And we really want to build an executive team here in Carbondale while using contractors and consultants as we go. So how many of you have driven down I-70 through Rifle and not thought twice about trying to eat there? Yeah, me too. While I was researching this, I found a great little deli. It's run by a Latino couple. They serve fresh, local, organic food, and they have a little gym next door. They're wonderful people, and they're living on the edge of our health culture in Rifle, Colorado. There's wonderful people like them everywhere, and I want you to meet each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. So let's take some questions from our panel.
Yeah, I mean, I saw curation in there a couple times. Where are you getting your data from today?
So tell us about your data, Chris.
Yeah, a good question. We actually, so since all of this is an experiment and none of it is scalable, we curated food and gear shops in the whole state of Colorado. And by curating, I'm saying the team did searches online based on certain keywords and populated a database, and then I went through, I gave them some general things to look for. I went through and curated that. We found that food and gear shops were the most gamed, frankly, by people like Denny's claiming they serve vegetarian food. For the other categories and for the rest of the country right now, in fact the rest of the world, we pull from Google. And in our algorithm, we have filtration, so we filter their results, again, to get away from the Denny's and other people gaming. One of the things I want to do with the web crawling is to really build our own database, get away from the reliance on Google. Since this is an MVP, we just wanted to get something out and see how it works, but that's a great question.
That's not a question before. How many people are on it? How many people are active?
We've got 150 users, and last time I checked, we had about 400 sessions per month.
Yes, Jamie. Yeah, what's the name of the deli and rifle?
It's called Be Healthy, Stay Fit Bistro. It's awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for your questions. Thank you very much. So we've got another software app that we're excited about. This one in the learning, it's more of a learning platform. And especially excited to introduce our next guest speaker that has been a fellow educator for some time, and it's been exciting to see her working in this space. She's probably our newest member of the group and at the start of her journey, but I think we're excited about all the passion she's brought to it. And I think like all the rest of our members, she certainly has led with her heart, and we've certainly learned a lot about keeping that passion at the center focus. So let me introduce Lynn.
Y'all need to stretch or something? You want to go stretch? You want to? All right, stand up, everybody. Stand up. Let's do just a quick test. Listen to everything's going to be all right. So, you feel good? Everybody good? Okay. Everything, you know this one? It's my favorite. So Martin Luther King is in his first year of seminary school. And one of the requirements for seminary school is that you have to take a public speaking class. And Martin Luther King gets a C in public speaking. A C! Martin Luther King! Like, could you imagine what the world would be like had Martin Luther King been swayed by that C from his dream? But it happens to so many of us. Okay, I got a C in public speaking class. Who else here besides me got a C in public speaking class? I'm Lynn Aaliyah. I'm the creator, I'm the inventor, I'm the CEO of Speak Easy app. And for the last 20 years, I have been teaching at the college level public speaking and communications. I've coached everybody from famous actors to PTA parents how to stand on stage and do this thing called speaking in public that we find so difficult. And it has become my mission in life, and to eradicate the fear of public speaking. And maybe to have a little fun at it while we're at it. So I'm going to share with you my plan to do that. I created the Speak Easy app. I created the Speak Easy app. I did. Connie wasn't kidding when she said this thing moves magically on its own. It really, really does. I will vouch for her. So Speak Easy app is a simulated experience that lets you practice your presentation with an audience and get immediate feedback from them in the venue of your choice before you ever set foot on stage. So let me just show you how this works. So you can either upload or you can dictate your speech, and then automatically it will appear and it will run as a teleprompter. And you practice in what we call mirror mode, because we think that's our only competition is the mirror. And there is a gamification algorithm, well, in the other slide, there's a gamification algorithm that detects fluency and tells you when you're ready to perform live in front of an audience. And then you choose your venue. You can choose a wedding, you could be at a boardroom. These are just a few of the choices. You could go to a theater, you could be in a courtroom, but just pick the boardroom, because so many of us probably have to speak in a boardroom. And then you practice in live mode, and depending on how well you do, if you dazzle your audience, they will applaud. Yay! If you drone on, they might start fiddling on their cell phones. They might even walk out of the room. There is a cadence feature that detects your vocal output. It will detect your vocal cadence, and it determines how well the audience will react. So, who are we? We take our name from the illicit drinking establishments of Prohibition. And we do so because we share many of the same philosophies as they do. They entered the emerging markets at a really critical time in our history. And the three basic tenets that I'd like to share with you that we value is, one, is they broke with established convention. Secondly, what they did is they created a culture of inclusiveness. And it is our vision to really include all of the voices in the conversation that's going on right now in the world, and to maximize who you are and to bring out the best in you. And thirdly, they had an effective, validated, scalable business model. So right now in 2018, let me just show you what's out there in our speakeasy world. Oh, that was who we were. That's who we are. In the emerging market, there's an online, where people take courses online, $107 billion industry that is absolutely exploding. Self-help industry is an $11 billion industry, and learn games are a $2.4 billion industry. And we are riding the wave of those markets, emerging markets. So our plan to scale. Our goal is 1 million free downloads in the 5 years, converting 10% of those to premium packages. Corporate market, 5 companies, we're going to hit it hard at 25K subscriptions, growing to 20 companies in 5 years. And in the education market, 10 schools with 1,000 students at $1 a download, growing to 100 schools at $5 in year 5. We are confident that we will be cash positive in 3 years and well beyond the 2.5 million mark by year 5. It was said in the olden days that in order to start a speakeasy, all you needed was a bottle and 2 chairs. We're asking for a little bit more. We're asking for $500,000. We believe in allocating equal funds to building the product as well as marketing. And we have an 18-month runway to get it into our consumers' hands. I'm Lina, as I said. I told you a little bit about myself. I'm also an actor. I've been in feature films. I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a director. I've been in feature films, a playwright. My shows have been produced off-Broadway in Los Angeles, plays that I've written, one-woman shows. I have an acting chief technology officer. My CTO is Jeremy Cerise. He is a senior software engineer at Tesla. And also, let me get out of the way of this slide. Spire Digital out of Denver, they have agreed to get the product out to market in 3 to 5 years. They've built products for such companies as Smithsonian, the Navy, Yahoo, and Vail Resorts. So I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I ask you not only to invest financially in Speakeasy, but also feel free to spread the word to your friends, to your colleagues. But most importantly, I ask you to please keep the free in freedom of speech. Thank you.
Thank you. So, some questions from the panel, please. Jeff. So how does it give feedback? Question about functionality.
My CTO is here. About it. So there's a game, but there's a cadence meter that detects like ums in this first iteration, like ums and ahs, pauses, and I understand that like silence is very powerful, but there's in the beginning phases, so it understands that, it reads the algorithms, and then it determines that when you are ready, according to what score it is. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Yeah, Mark.
Your goal is to get a million users. How are you going to acquire it?
Are you going to acquire 1 million users?
Good question. We're going to be running ads as well in our freemium app. We're also looking for a strategic partner who is very savvy on the marketing side.
Yes, Corey.
This is what you see. We've had several conversations with Spire Digital in Denver as well.
So it sounds like part of your ask will go towards
Absolutely,
programming.
yes.
Development.
Yeah.
Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Lynn. So some of you know I'm a co-founder, co-owner of Adventure Outdoors, which is one of our sponsors today, a one-stop shop for outdoor activities. So my heart is particularly close to the outdoor travel industry, and I'm pleased to introduce our next two guests as being in the travel industry as well. And Meryl Johnson's going to tell you a little bit about something called agritourism, and I'm very excited to have her on the stage to help us understand the next new emerging market. Thank you very much. Welcome out.
Hi, I'm so excited. All right. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Is everyone having fun? Great. Okay. Well, over 20 years ago, my family moved from Chicago to Carbondale, leaving 2 corporate jobs behind to a farm that we now call home. And it has been transformational. The past 20 years, we've been operating, working, and experiencing a family farm. It has transformed our lives. We are stronger, connected, we're active in our community, and we have cultivated a strong sense of stewardship in our relationship with our land and the environment. It has been a gift, and it's a gift that we're wanting to share with the world. Hi, my name is Meryl Johnson, and I'm the co-founder and co-owner of Cedar Ridge Ranch in Carbondale, Colorado, a 67-acre working family farm that for the past 20 years we have been offering horseboarding, horseback riding, and training. But we are so excited to be opening up our farm and entering into the new emerging market of agritourism. Let me share with you about our business model. We are excited to be opening up to overnight farm stays, where travelers from all around the world can come and experience a farm. We will be open up seasonally, and there will be glamping accommodations. Has anyone ever been glamping? Yes? Does anyone know what glamping is? Okay, well, if you break down the word, it's glamorous camping, and it is a really wonderful experience. We will be offering creative studio spaces. We've turned half of our horseboarding barn from stalls to studios, offering a space for all creatives to be inspired and to make their wares. During the day and year-round, we'll be offering farm tours focused around sustainability. Our farm store will be offering our products, heritage breed pigs, our pork, beef, eggs, chickens, and all of our creatives' art and their creations. During the year-round, we will be having events and weddings, farm to table and intimate in nature. And what is the most ideal place for a Rocky Mountain wedding? Cedar Ridge Ranch. This shoulder season, we'll be working with businesses, local and nonprofits, to create corporate retreats and offer wellness and educational programming. The market opportunity is huge. Tourism alone, it accounts for $3.2 trillion globally. And domestically, and agritourism alone, this is not a new thing. Has anyone ever traveled to Italy? Vineyards? Yes? Maybe? Agritourism is the keystone for European travel and tourism, and has been for centuries. But what's so exciting is that the United States, it's just an emerging market. So it has only accounted for $1.8 billion here in the US, but it has been a $60 to $160 billion worldwide. And so our Colorado marketplace is just right for agritourism. In 2012, only 2% of farms were actively participating, accounting for $27 million. And fast growth in 2017, 4%, accounted for over $186 million. What is so exciting is that we will be the first farm in the Roaring Fork Valley to offer and enter into agritourism and offer overnight accommodations and stays for people to really truly experience what a farm is. And guess what? We've already tested this. It's already been successful. For the past 2 years, we've had guests from all over the world, as far as from India to as close as Denver. We have had families, couples, and individual travelers. They're all looking for a really interactive experience. They're wanting to connect with the farm, to have an authentic, true, meaningful experience that'll last a lifetime and will be transformational in their lives. We're excited to be building upon this success. Our story and our customers' experiences have been publicized and shared in multiple publications, including 5280, Curious, and Rocky Mountain Bride, in just 2 years. And we will continue to be the leading agritourism business in Colorado because we are just situated 30 minutes from Aspen, which is a global destination, and 10 minutes from Carbondale, which is now a creative district, which is bustling with offerings of 5-star restaurants, Silo, the distillery, all these amazing partners and offerings in the valley. Our creative spaces are super unique, offering a really interesting and personalized experience for our guests. And what do we have? We have horses, pigs, alpacas, zebu, really a way for people to get in touch with, be intimate with animals, and to create a strong connection with their food and their world around them. We have also become super hosts. We're so excited about this. This is something that we have never done really accommodations before, but we are so committed to it, and we love it, and we love sharing this gift with the world. Our team, we are passionate, and we are dang well committed. We are super creative, and we are business savvy. Did I mention to you that we came from Chicago? We left corporate jobs behind. My parents, Randy Johnson, has over 40 years of experience, an entrepreneur, an inventor, ex-investment banker. My mother, Pam Johnson, is vice president of Family Circle magazine, which was the leading women's magazine in the world at her time. Advertising, marketing, and a plentiful of customer relationship is being brought to this vision. And myself, I've been working hospitality in the Roaring Fork Valley. I know what the customer wants, and I know how to surpass their expectations. I've been managing the horse boarding facility for over 15 years, and after studying sustainability at Colorado Mountain College, I have implemented sustainable enterprises on our property so we can really showcase how sustainability functions in this world. Our partners include Airbnb and Glamping Hub, and we are hugely supported by Colorado Tourism Office. They are all for agritourism, so how we can actually help and revitalize rural tourism and in rural developments. Our revenue is diverse, which is super key. Our farm stays account for 51%, weddings and events 30%, and we're projected to have 8% in our creative studio spaces. In addition, our farm store, workshop, and tours will be 11%. So, you have an amazing team, a business that's already been successful, a huge demand in the marketplace, and an emerging market here in the United States. Our financials are strong. In 2018, this year, we are looking to accommodate up to 15 guests with revenues of $158,000. In 2019, next year, we'll be increasing our infrastructure once again to be at capacity to serve over 30 people in 10 units at only 6 months, including revenues from weddings and events, to be upwards of around $450,000. Then our third year will be steady, and we're not looking to get rich. This is a priceless experience. We're wanting to share this with the world. This is about giving a gift. And so we'll be seeing 10% growth, and that'll be from our farm stays, our weddings and events. And we look forward to having repeat customers, which we've already had. Our ask today is about this, right here. This heart is huge, and we are committed to be giving this gift. It has been a transformative gift, and we're excited to share it. And so we're looking for an investment of over $230,000, and half of which will be going to infrastructure costs this year, and half of which will be working capital for the first year and a half to get us up and running. We're looking for an equity partner or a convertible loan. Join us. We are ready. We are so excited to be sharing this gift. Join us in sharing the gift that we have intimately received, one that's transformative. Let's invite people to come, connect, create, and cultivate here at Cedar Ridge Ranch together so they can have a stronger positive impact in their family, their community, and the world around them. Thank you.
Everybody else has heard their family put a lot of hard work into the permits required, and they're kind of moving in the positive direction, getting all that worked out, getting ready to launch. Questions from the panel? Yes, Jeff. What is the price point for the stay?
Great. Average price point is $220. So we have different accommodations. We have yurts, safari tents, and cabins, in addition to teepees. And so some will have a higher capacity than others.
Average stay length?
Average stay length has actually been 3 days. We have a 2-day minimum in our past 2 years.
Yes, Jeff.
What is the highest end accommodation?
Sure. So the highest end accommodation is actually our yurt currently, and that's $275 on the weekend. It is a queen size bed, beautiful linens. All the furniture has been family heirlooms from over 50 years, and it's a true beautiful experience. So it's under the stars. We have all the pleasures of home. So people who have maybe never been camping before, so glamorous camping, you have electricity and water, and you have linens and sheets, but you got to be outside amongst the amazing stars in the Rocky Mountains.
I think I heard you say permit. I understand you can get somewhere to go without it. Are there any hurdles with respect to growing operation? Community here?
Yeah, so as Mike mentioned, we are currently in the last final stages of working with Garfield County for land use permit approval. And so that is really our last hurdle. And once that is obtained, we are excited to be opening up.
All right, thank you, panelists. Thank you, Meryl.
Thank you.
So living in the Roaring Fork Valley, we all know and appreciate the active lifestyle. Proud to introduce our next panelist, or not our next panelist, but our next presenter, who is a longtime runner and has been a part of the running community for some time. Not only has she been the editor of Trail Running Magazine, but she has also been somewhat of an expert in the marketing arena. Has worked for Backbone Travel, and now she is migrated to something that's a little bit closer to her heart. And I'll let her tell you a little bit about that. Please welcome Eleanor Fish.
Right, stress is America's #1 health epidemic. It's true, almost all of our chronic illnesses these days can be traced back to stress. And this is even true for those of us who have active lifestyles and like to spend a lot of time in the outdoors. And the more stress we have, the harder it is to find the energy, the time, and the motivation to exercise regularly. My name is Eleanor Fish, and I'm the founder of Run Wild Retreats and Wellness. And despite being a lifelong runner and enjoying the fitness to run 100 miles through the mountains, I've still at times encountered stress-related health issues that at times made it impossible for me to do the things I love, like run and travel in beautiful places like this. And yet, running is my favorite way to manage stress. And that's why I created Run Wild Retreats in 2010. We are a travel company that helps runners overcome the most common obstacles to healthy lifelong running. Things like stress, injuries, boredom, isolation, and just plain exhaustion. And the way we do this is by curating a very special kind of experience known as transformational travel. Transformational travel empowers people to make lasting and powerful changes in their lives. And it's typically comprised of three main elements: physical challenges, time for personal reflection and education, and then traveling with intention and being really mindful of the whole experience and being open to trying new things. Now, the really exciting thing for Run Well retreats is that even though the original concept was based on my personal passions, it happens to lie at the convergence of two huge global trends in the tourism industry. The adventure travel and the wellness travel markets are each worth over $500 billion. Now, there are 57 million runners in America, and most of them enjoy running as part of their way of managing their stress. Now, we don't cater to the really hardcore runners, which is a relatively small segment of that 57 million. We actually make an effort to appeal to the much broader beginner to intermediate level runners who are looking for a kind of experience that not only helps them develop physical fitness, but also to grow personally. And running happens to be the means through which we facilitate that personal growth experience. Now, we're not the only company out there to cater to runners with cool running vacations, but a lot of our competition tends to offer more adventure-based runs that really involve a high degree of fitness. And then others in the market really focus only on the wellness aspects of travel. We're one of the very few companies out there that makes an effort to blend the two and really offer a running experience that allows time and space for personal reflection and focus on wellness and recovery. So what makes us unique is the various elements that are universal across all of our retreats. We have professionally trained guides with us on every single run. We have a highly trained retreat leader who curates the retreat experience every minute of the day. We offer wellness workshops that are focused on applying mindfulness to your daily life. And we have the online Healthy Runners community, a learning platform that extends the wellness education long after the retreat is over. Now, all this is made possible thanks to our absolutely fantastic team. We have Murray France, who has 30 years of experience in tourism management in the Canadian Rockies. Heather Lee has been leading women's wellness retreats for over 30 years and is an expert in stress management. And I have worked for 19 years in marketing and communications in both the running and travel industries. And throughout that time, I've also been teaching running clinics and running retreats and workshops for most of my adult life. Now, while I was the editor at Trail Runner magazine, I got to travel a lot, and I met a lot of incredible runners all around the world. And some of them happened to be running guides. So now many of those guides comprise our global guide network. Also, one of our valued partners involves the resorts and lodges with whom we've established really solid relationships and are excited to grow our mutual business together. Now, our business model is comprised of two main revenue streams. 30% of our revenue comes from our domestic retreats held here in the Western US. They're typically 4 days long. And 70% of our revenue comes from our international wellness retreats that are 7 days long and take place in Europe, South America, and Canada. Now, in our first few years of operation, we really achieved proof of concept. There is a huge demand for this kind of wellness and travel experience. Since 2015, we've grown by 207%. And also during that time period, We've received 9 million media impressions. And a lot of those have been in not just running magazines, but in major lifestyle and broad-based magazines. And those kinds of media placements have really helped us appear much larger than we actually are, which is kind of cool. But it's also given us a tremendous amount of social proof and visibility. A couple of highlights of those media placements happens to be the travelchannel.com, the Travel Channel's website. We were featured on there in January, and last spring we were featured on the front page of the health section of the Washington Post, an article that was syndicated across the country. We were able to leverage these media placements into direct retreat sales. Now, we've already reached $250,000 in annual revenue, and we are on track to exceed $1 million within the next 4 years by expanding our retreat offerings. We plan to do that by using a controlled growth strategy that is really focused on staying very in close communication with our loyal customers and incentivizing them to book a retreat with us year after year after year as part of their wellness routine. And then we're going to expand our proven success in media relations to continue to reach new customers. So we are seeking $300,000 to fund this growth from our current offerings of 7 retreats a year to over 25. And that $300,000 will be divided into 3 main categories. It will be used to grow our internal team, to expand our highly successful sales and marketing tactics, and then also to scout out new retreat destinations. So by investing in us, you would not only be investing in a very progressive and on-trend travel company, but you would really be making an investment in something that helps people improve their lives and their well-being. So if you'd like to join the adventure, please come talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. So panelists, some questions.
Washington Post said something exactly, you're helping women change money, right? What really is the demographic that you're targeting?
Target demographic.
Yes, so far it's been women aged mostly 30 to 65 who are really interested in running as part of their lifestyle. They probably run occasional races and that sort of thing, but it's also a big part of their social life as well. A lot of them tend to be professionals, have relatively high income, and the ability to travel. Not a lot, but it's a really important thing that they decide to carve out time for.
Yes, Jamie. What kind of return, what kind of loyalty program?
That's right.
Do you have?
Right now, it's about 15%, but that's because I haven't really put as much focus on that as we are now. And so now that we're really making that a part of the business model, it's working really well. Just last month, we had a retreat in Moab for 18 women, and the week after that retreat, 2 of them booked a retreat in Ireland for this September. So I expect that number to grow a lot.
Mark, do you have a question? Okay, great. All right, thank you. Thank you, Eleanor. So I shared this story earlier in our panel, but I would like you to meet our next presenter, who's flown all the way from Iowa. Part of the story we want to tell is that we're not just positioned to support local entrepreneurs, but we are committed to attracting businesses to move some, if not all, of their operation to the Roaring Fork Valley. So I'm very proud and excited to introduce Jonathan, all the way from Iowa, to talk to you about widgets.
Thanks, Michael. Yep, the widget guy. So I'm here to talk to you about Parent Industries, and before that, I just want to say it's great to be in the Valley tonight. This was my home full-time until I moved away in 2016. I was the director for the Heart and Vascular Center at Valley View Hospital, and was called away really out of a passion for my family business, which had been in existence for nearly 40 years, when my father had become ill and was no longer able to run the company. I've since been there now for about 2 years, and what I've found is that parent machining company, the company founded by my father, needs to change. The industry that he started in has moved overseas to Asia. That's the automotive, appliance, plumbing industry. And so it's time to look for new markets and new technologies. So that's where Parent Industries comes into play, a new brand with a new focus and new technology. Parent Machine Company will continue to service our longtime customers, but we're looking to move in a new direction for the next generation. So the problem currently is that the supply for component parts is not adequate for the demand. So a great story for any business. There's a lot of information here about how many shops are running overtime, etc. But I think Zimmer Biomed maybe said it best. They just had their national sales meeting, and in the orthopedics division, they listed their #1 threat as orthopedic implants being their #1 threat to their future success, the supply of which is not meeting their demand. So what I believe the solution is, and what others in the industry are moving towards, is finding a way to bridge this gap of a 9% increase over the 5-year average, and two industries in specific, medical and aerospace, which are not getting the component parts that they need. So there's a new German technology that we want to focus on, known as multi-spindle CNC technology. And we've been actually able to acquire reserve 2 of these machines for our company. This machine outperforms the current technology by about 90%, allows us to produce a lot more efficiently and cost effectively. So this slide, Michael said, show your passion, John. And I thought, Mike, I'm a hospital administrator, professionally trained to show no emotion. But these numbers, this is why I've leveraged all of my assets for this company. And that's because there's a $12.7 billion industry in the United States, and there's new technology that completely turns it upside down. And there's just a few emerging now. And the company that I'm fortunate enough to get to be the head of is perfectly positioned to move forward in that. We are looking to capture $20 million in the next 10 years of this $12.7 billion industry. That's simply a formula from what I already know. That's not an assumption. That's what I've gone out and found in the last year and what I've brought in the year, projected towards 10 years. We have a few major competitors in the United States. Cox Manufacturing out of Texas, Alpha Granger out of Massachusetts, and actually we're out of Florida and a couple other locations in the United States. Of these 3, that's the major players besides our company in Iowa. And they're doing between $50 and $75 million annually. Jake Granger is in the 70s. He runs Alpha Granger. He was the founder. Alpha Granger was founded in 1973. He's an early adopter of this multi-spindle German technology and also the sub-spindle German technology. And he's also a personal friend and mentor of mine. And he's told me that where we got to be is in multi-spindle. Jake invested 5 years ago. He has all of his multi-spindle machines at capacity. He's currently trying to get every multi-spindle machine from Germany delivered to his company that he can. Thankfully, despite his efforts, we've been able to secure 2 machines. So we have a multi-spindle CNC machine known as a MS16 Plus and a sub-spindle CNC machine known as a C100. This allows us to cover a wide range of diameters and quantities from 10,000 to 10 million. And so that's why these have been chosen. There's a couple parts here common to the aerospace that are often made on these machines, so I've just thrown those up. I also have a lot of samples on the table next to my booth there that you can look at if you like. So again, we really want to go after the medical and aerospace industries. That's what these machines are truly designed for, although they can certainly do other things. But this is really where the US market is headed and where we want to be. So we found in the last year that touring the country and doing trade shows was a very effective model. It allowed us to maintain the revenue that we're offering those as sales reps with other companies. And we just found that there's so much demand that really we don't need sales reps. We can just go out there ourselves, tell our story, let people know what we have, and we can get the business quite easily. So we have some distinct distribution advantages I'd like to point out. We're well established already in the market. The parent name is well known in the component parts industry, and so that's certainly an advantage. We're known for quality and on-time delivery. But we also have a lot of purchasing power. This allows us to buy material and tooling up to 60% less expensive from our smaller competitors, just because of the quantity that parent machine company, my father's company, is currently purchasing. We also plan to continue our trade shows in the third and fourth quarter of this year prior to our launch, which we hope to do in the fourth quarter. And we also want to build a dynamic website and start doing some targeted pay-per-click campaigns for the medical and aerospace purchasers. We are starting with initial partners, which we found from our efforts this last year. Those are Clip-On, an aerospace company, Rhino Tools, a specialty manufacturer of heavy-duty equipment, and Colefi, who's an Italian company that specializes in radiant heat component parts. Our financial projections, again, this is just a formula based off of our sales to date, off of our efforts last year. So we have an understanding that each machine that we buy can produce roughly $2.1 million annually. And so with the first two machines that we plan to acquire, we assume that in year 3 we can be at 50%, which would be roughly $2 million in gross revenue. By year 5, we plan to be at roughly $4.2 million in gross revenue, and then take that further to buy 2 more machines at that time to quickly advance us toward a $20 million goal. Looking forward, I've secured a $1.65 million for the purchase of the equipment. But I'm looking for a strategic partner to come alongside and give us another $500,000 for operating expenses, tooling, material, marketing, and these trade shows in the coming months. There's also aerospace and medical certifications that are required to sell to these industries, and so this $500,000 would also be applied towards those goals. The leadership team, of course, consists of myself, and also Abigail Rauch. She's very familiar with her company. She did all the sales trade shows with me last year for Parent Machining Company, and she's made herself available for Parent Industries as well. And so she'll be touring along with me this year. She's well connected due to her full-time role as a purchaser for Fisher Controls, which is a large valve company in the Midwest. And so she's a great asset to us on the road. And also Scott Kepler, he's a 25-year employee of Parent Machining Company, and he is going to come alongside and work on a contract basis for us to maintain our quality, but also fulfill the requirements for our certifications. So the story kind of began with my family, and so I just want to mention that the Valley is really where I love to be. And so for Parent Machining Company, when I came on board, I came out and found some of the, I started to use the same marketing companies that we used at Valley View Hospital, because I found them to be such passionate and talented people. And so they've done a great job for us with Parent Machining Company, and they will also continue to help us with Parent Industries. And so it's a great way for me to stay connected in the Valley and excited. So please feel free to ask me any questions about the company after the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Jonathan. Can I ask some questions, please? Yes, Corey. Will you be able to get enough machines to hit the $20 million goal?
That's a good question. So because of the purchasing power, again, this is where Parent Machining really helps out. The size of our company and our long-standing relationship in the machining industry allows us avenues to get machines that otherwise would not be feasible. A typical startup would not be able to get access to these machines that we've been able to. so yes, I believe we will be able to.
Mark,
Where do you source your raw materials from?
sourcing raw materials.
It depends on the material. A lot of the stainless steel, titanium, those metals come from the Chicago area. Brass and copper comes out of Ohio.
Yes, Jeff. What do your partners bring to the table?
So they bring POs right out of the gate is really what they bring. They're all customers that we produce parts for this year, and so that means that when we add this new equipment, we'll be able to take on new pieces for them that we can't currently do with our existing equipment.
All right, thank you, panelists. Jonathan, thank you so much. So before I bring out our last presenter, I just want to thank our audience again for being here and supporting what we're about. Certainly after we're kind of in the home stretch here, and we invite everyone to linger and visit with our presenters and learn a little bit more about their company. We'll continue to be serving alcohol and a few additional snacks, so you're welcome to kind of hang out. But I think we've tried to provide a variety, and I'm especially excited to introduce Angelina, who is really a part of a market that is changing dramatically. And I think what excites me so much about her and her business is that she really has a sense of what it looks like to be on the front end of the change and what that means for her company. So please give a warm welcome to Angelina.
All right, so now that we've got the nuts and bolts covered, let's talk about something else we all need. Shoes. My name is Angelina Taylor, and I am the founder of 5028. We are a pledge to buy marketplace that sells limited edition artisan shoes without the designer price. We like to call this exclusive style reinvented. I've been in the footwear industry for the past 15 years, designing and developing shoes, and 6 years ago I started working in Europe. And it was a big change from working in China. There was such incredible talent there, their speed to market, their kind of technical know-how, and their just kind of general, our working experience together was pretty amazing. At the same time, Kickstarter was becoming a popular platform. And I thought to myself, their skills and talent, my creative design talent, experiential retail, this could be a dynamic recipe. 2017 has been referred to as the retail apocalypse. A record number of stores have closed in 2017. No secret, when you walk around, lots and lots of empty resale space. This is due in large part to upfront inventory commitments, rents raising, copycat products and generic products flooding the retail spaces and having nowhere to go but the landfills or discounters. At the same time, spending habits are changing. People are shopping online, and millennials and Gen Xers have the buying power now. And they're not looking for mass-produced commercial products. They're looking for brands with story, brands with heart. They're looking for artisanal, authentic, personal, environmental, unique, local. So at 5028, we're returning to the craft of artisan footwear. 5028 gets its name from my grandfather's hardwood floor company that he was very successful at. He operated at 5028 Douglas Lane. He stood for craftsmanship, quality, and integrity, and we are instilling these values in our brand today. I design all of our shoes here in Carbondale, Colorado. We manufacture them in Spain and Portugal with US manufacturing on the horizon. They are small batch artisans, so we're paying super close attention to detail and quality. Limited edition, all of our shoes come with a certificate of authentication indicating how many were made and what number of years was in the process. We crowdfund some of our lines, so if you pre-buy a shoe from us, you come along the production journey with us. So we're really connecting our consumers with the makers of their shoes. So we have certain little touch points that we let you know, hey, this is what's going on with the making of your shoe. And lastly, we have a strong mission to help and break the stigma behind mental health. So we donate $5 from every pair that we sell to mental health organizations. Locally, we partner with Aspen Strong. The average man buys 3 pairs of shoes a year, the average woman 7. They have 19 pairs of shoes in their closet at any given time. The apparel and footwear industry rose to a record $361 billion in 2013. This was more than cars, alcohol, toys, or practically any other industry. This continued to grow in 2015 to $381 billion, and footwear saw a 6% growth in 2016 with $12 billion of sales coming online. So as I mentioned, millennials and Gen Xers are looking for something different, and this is kind of making way for new brands to emerge. So lots of crowdfunding models, new age retail experiences, socially conscious, personal subscription models coming about and becoming quite successful, which is super exciting. So why us? We are artisanal and authentic, as I said. Our quality is of the utmost quality, and we do not inflate our prices. We are offering our shoes to our customers at very fair pricing. We provide year-round product curation, so our customers and our retailers can refresh their closets and their retail space very, very often. And this is also a great model for our factory partners as well. So they don't have to work in these kind of seasonal models. This provides them with year-round work. As I mentioned, we're experiential. If you pre-order shoes from us, you come along the journey with us. And as we grow our following, we're going to be opening up our design platform to anybody. So if you want to submit a design, submit the design to us, our followers vote, we'll design it, which we think is pretty exciting. Lastly, we're ethically made and environmentally better. We don't ship a box inside of a box. All of our shoes are shipped inside of a reusable bag. All of our partners are socially and ethically conscious, and we have another program on the horizon where we'll be going into our factories' warehouses and helping them clear out. They have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of materials in these warehouses that they can't use. So we're going to go in and creatively put them into our products, which we think is going to be a pretty exciting program. So we beta tested the market in the last quarter of 2017. In 100 days, we sold 100 pairs of shoes and grossed $15,000 in revenue. So that gave us the opportunity to test our factories, to test our shipping, to test our shippers, our fit, our quality, and our market. And so now we're growing our market, and we're in the works of growing our market, our following to 10,000 to 20,000 followers this year. And we're going to do that through some pretty vigorous marketing efforts. We're currently working with a marketing company that we're going to really push our marketing efforts, our PR, our affinity and affiliate marketing. We're growing B2B to be about 25% of our market. And we have a lot of exciting makers, fairs, and pop-up events planned for the summer, which will be very experiential and hands-on. People can get to know us and what we're all about. And lastly, we're continuing to innovate in design processes and product offerings. So as I mentioned last year, in the last part of last year, we sold 100 pairs. This year, we have a very modest plan of selling 400 pairs of shoes. And then we plan to 5X that the following year, and then 2X that the following year to get us to $1 million, which is only 6,000 pairs of shoes. And we are confident that we can get there. Our team consists of myself. I've worked for companies such as Deckers Outdoor Corporation, which was the umbrella company for Teva, Simple, and UGG. Oakley, the North Face, and most recently Taos Footwear, where my design and brand management efforts helped to 5X the business, 6X the business, from $5 million to $30 million. So my husband, Mike Taylor, is a sales guru. He has risen to the top of his sales division countless times at Enterprise, Strata, and NetFactor. Valerie Arnold is heading up our operations. She's worked with companies such as Levi's, Billabong, and Patagonia. Brian Ward is heading up all of our IT, and he's brought Orbitz, British Airways, and the UK National Lottery online. We're super honored by our factory partners who have a combined 100 years of experience. They're based out of Spain and Portugal, and they're amazing factories, they're family run, and we're just, like I said, so honored that they're on board with us. So we're here today seeking $200,000 that we will use towards our marketing, manufacturing, and development efforts. We're looking to do that in form of an equity loan or convertible note. And we're really looking for a strategic marketing partner to help push us to the next level. Mostly, we're just super excited that the world is changing and technology advances have made it possible for us to start a footwear company in a rural mountain town. What was once impossible is now possible. So We will be on tour this year. Like I said, come see us in Austin, Boulder, Nantucket, Carbondale, LA, Denver. Come check out our shoes, and we would love to talk to you.
Thank you, Angelina. So if you have questions for Angelina, our last presenter.
Yeah, and the beta to get your first 100 pairs sold, I'm not sure about how that happened. Is that Kickstarter or just...
On our own
So
platform.
tell us the story of the first pair, the first shoes you sold.
Yeah, it was on our own platform. So we have just through marketing efforts and getting the word out. We didn't use Kickstarter. We have like the platform within our website.
So your own word of mouth, some ad spend?
Ad spend.
Do you know what the cost of acquisition was for that?
So cost of acquisition for that ad spend.
Yeah, I think it was approximately 34.
Yes, Jamie.
How much does it usually cost to make a pair?
How much does it cost to make a pair?
Yeah, between 25 to 45, depending on boot, sandal, whatever.
Your average.
Yeah, and the shipping and then plus shipping.
Other questions? Thank you, panelists. So, round of applause. I'd like to bring all the entrepreneurs up here behind stage, and if you could hang on to that mic, Angelina, because you're going to give it to someone. But please, all our presenters, come back up on stage. Behind you, thank you. So while they're up here, I just want to acknowledge again all the hard work that went into these presentations today, and to thank you again to our coaches for helping get them to this place, and just thank them for the network that they're now a part of. And I also want to, yes, please, round of applause. And we were sort of watching the backs of 5 heads for most of the evening. Gentlemen, if you don't mind standing up and face your audience, I'd like to actually give some names to those heads. So, yeah, round of applause. So, we've got Jack Gilbride from Telluride Venture Fund. We've got Jamie Finney from Stone, Colorado. We've got Sean Bertini from 4 Points Funding and Steamboat. Mark Nader with Telluride Venture Accelerator and the Greater Colorado Fund. And last but not least, Corey Finney with the Greater Colorado Fund. And now I'd like to actually invite Mark and Jamie up to the stage. And Angelina, if you wouldn't mind giving them the mic. These gentlemen, come on up this way. And as I make my closing remarks, I'd like to invite them to have the last word. Because as I mentioned earlier, we're part of a much larger effort, part of a much larger network. And we are following in the footsteps of Mark and Jamie and all these great folks that have joined us here today and are doing wonderful things. And I do want to say that today is a call to action, to join us on this journey, to help these entrepreneurs and others grow their businesses. And on the first Wednesday of May, there's an economic summit in Lowland Springs. We would invite anyone who wants to be a part of this growth to join us at high noon, first Wednesday in May 2nd, here at GlenX. Come prepared to be a part of this growth. Come prepared to write some checks to support what we're about. We would like to have a specific ask of 5 investors to write checks for $25,000 apiece to help us start down this road. And we thank you for your efforts, and we thank you for your interest. And again, Mark, Jamie, if you could give us a few last comments about what's happening on the state level, I'd be grateful.
Great. We're standing between you, your families, and the weekend. So thanks again to the entrepreneurs. You guys are the reason we are here and the reason we get to do this work. Real quick, just want to set the context for what all of this is a part of in the nation. How many counties are there in the United States? 4,500? 3,007. How many of those counties do you think attributed to 50% of all economic growth since the last recession, 2008, 2009? 20 counties, 20. That's down from the early 90s. It used to be 120. We are seeing the concentration of wealth and economic growth in this country get even smaller and smaller. Rural America
is being left behind. Entrepreneurship, despite the fact that we feel like we're in a boom, we feel like the economy is doing really well, entrepreneurship is down. New business starts are almost 30% down from 2 decades ago. It's an incredible feat that we're seeing these communities across the world, in rural America, and including our mountain towns, actually generating and supporting entrepreneurs like this. This is part of something really important, because it's not going to be the Republicans, it's not going to be the Democrats that are going to create our futures for us. It's going to be the entrepreneurs, just like they always have. Right? So through our work with Telluride Venture Accelerator and through our work with the Greater Colorado Venture Fund, I think we're lucky enough to try and take a different approach to supporting entrepreneurs. The Silicon Valley model for supporting and investing and helping these entrepreneurs achieve their dreams and create the impact in our communities, create the jobs, full-time, year-round employment, benefits for our families, imagine those type of things. I know it's unique in mountain towns, right? It really is going to come down to a new approach. It can't be the standard approach. So we're trying to flip the model a little bit, take a little bit of a different lens to this. So we have with Greater Colorado Venture Fund a $9.1 million fund granted to us by the state, initially at least, and over the next 5 years we're going to be making at least 50 investments, average check size of about $150,000 through traditional equity as well as some alternative capital structures such as revenue-based financing. This isn't about creating the next Facebook. We all see how that's working out right now. Right? This is about creating the entrepreneurs that create the jobs, that support your neighbors, that support these communities, that make these places that we want to live, and we want our future generations to inherit. So anyway, thanks again. I'll turn it over to Jamie.
Yeah, so Mark kind of set the stage of kind of nationally what we're dealing with here, and now we have some amazing resources that are happening here in Colorado. Colorado provides this unique opportunity where really the nation is looking at us because we have the ability to fill a room here in Carbondale, Colorado to support local entrepreneurs, and this doesn't happen anywhere else. So give it up for yourselves, really. So with that, I work with Startup Colorado. We are proud to be supporting GlenX tonight, and Startup Colorado is a state nonprofit, and we focus on building the entrepreneurial capacity of our communities like Carbondale. And our work is unique in the fact that we have, like I mentioned, the nation watching, and the state that is getting behind this moment where we can really take what's happened on the Front Range, these entrepreneurial booms, and we can prove that it's not just a Front Range phenomenon, but it happens all across the state. The real way we do that at Startup Colorado is by supporting the community leaders like Mike, like Altai, like Ty, like Justin, like Dave, a lot of the people here in the room tonight. We're the ones they're the hubs and the spokes to support the entrepreneurs. They're the ones that are really going to create the future for our communities. We're really proud to be here. I'll always look for more excuses to come back to the Roaring Fork Valley. Thanks for having us, and most of all, thanks to the GlenX folks, because they're the ones that are going to be leading the charge for your community. And I urge you to pick their brains, ask how you can get involved, and get behind them. Thanks.
Maybe one thing I'd like to do is really quick. I want to challenge every single person in the room. When you walk out of here tonight, over the weekend, think about it, but next week, every single person in the room, do one thing. That's my ask, my challenge. One thing for at least one of these entrepreneurs. Whether that's thinking about writing a check, taking a meeting, making an introduction, mentoring them, do one thing. If everybody did that, think about the momentum that you're going to create out of a few hours on a Friday afternoon and the incredible work that all of them have put into this. So,
So on behalf of myself and Altai, my partner in this endeavor, and our entire GlenX team, go on to some fun. Thank you.